Fire Part 17 Chapter 1 Andrey Kachalinin 16 times World Champion, 10 times European Champion, ATWR record holder and the secret to huge massive arms, thick biceps and titanic strength. Fire Iron Titans Saga. Thumbs up before this chapter begins, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with fellow bodybuilder fans, strength athletes, powerlifting enthusiasts, fitness followers, and everyone who enjoys epic transformation stories. After the rise of Raj Dangas and the global emergence of Usman Ahmad, Vale and the Fourth Horizon are about to meet a living legend whose accomplishments have inspired athletes around the world for years. Several months after the conclusion of the Global Horizon Challenge, the Fourth Horizon movement entered a period of extraordinary growth unlike anything Adrian Wolfe had predicted during the earliest stages of the Titan Protocol, because the successive international cooperation projects initiated by leaders such as Raj Dangas and Usman Ahmad demonstrated that transformation could successfully cross national, cultural, and professional boundaries, creating a network of individuals connected not merely by physical development but by discipline, responsibility, and leadership. And as reports continued arriving from every corner of the world, one name began appearing with unusual frequency among elite strength athletes, coaches, and performance specialists. Andrey Kachalinin. At first Vale assumed the reports focused on another accomplished competitor whose success had attracted temporary attention, yet the deeper he investigated the information being collected by the Council of Titans, the more remarkable the story became because Andrey's achievements extended far beyond ordinary competitive success and entered territory few athletes in history ever approached. The records seemed almost unbelievable. ATWR 67.5 category at 81.5 kg. ATWR 75 category at 100 kg. ATWR 82.5 category at 105 kg. ATWR 90 category at 115 kg. 16-time world champion, 10-time European champion, decades of elite-level performance, years of consistency, years of dominance, years of proving that extraordinary strength requires extraordinary commitment. When Ethan reviewed the full file, he discovered that Andrey Kachalinin had become one of the most respected names within international strength sports because his accomplishments reflected not a single successful season or temporary period of dominance, but an entire career defined by relentless excellence, technical mastery, and an almost legendary ability to maintain performance standards that few competitors could approach. One evening Adrian Wolfe invited Ethan, Raj Dangas, and Usman Ahmad into a private conference room overlooking the mountains surrounding the Spa Hammam retreat. Large digital screens displayed competition footage, training records, historical achievements, and performance data connected to elite athletes from around the world. At the center of the presentation stood Andrey Kachalinin. Photographs showed a powerful athlete possessing the kind of dense muscular development that immediately commanded attention. Thick forearms, powerful shoulders, massive arms developed through years of heavy compound training. A physique built for performance rather than appearance. Every image reflected discipline. Every achievement reflected consistency. Every record reflected sacrifice. As the presentation continued, Adrian asked a simple question. What creates greatness? The room remained silent, because everyone knew there was no simple answer. Eventually Usman Ahmad responded. Years. Raj Dangas nodded. Consistency. Ethan added another word. Discipline. Adrian smiled. Exactly. Then he pointed toward Andrey's records. People see numbers. A pause. I see habits. The statement immediately resonated. Because throughout every stage of the Iron Titans Saga, the same lesson appeared repeatedly. Physical transfer, mashing, muscular development, strength gains, leadership growth, and personal excellence all emerged from habits repeated consistently over time. Not motivation, not shortcuts, not luck, habits. The conversation gradually shifted toward a topic frequently discussed throughout fitness culture. How are huge muscular arms actually built? How does someone develop thick biceps, powerful triceps, dense forearms, and the kind of arm size associated with elite strength athletes and legendary bodybuilders? Adrian used Andrey's career as an example. Most people focus on arm exercises, he explained. But large arms are usually built by mastering fundamentals. He pointed toward training footage. Heavy rows, pull-ups, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses, years of progressive overload, years of increasing strength, years of improving technique. The explanation surprised some younger athletes. Because many expected secret methods. Instead, the answer involved consistency, compound movements, recovery, nutrition, patience, and perhaps most importantly, refusing to quit when progress appeared slow. The discussion continued long into the evening as Ethan studied additional footage showing Andrey's training methods. Every repetition looked deliberate. Every set appeared purposeful. Every movement reflected years of refinement. There were no unnecessary distractions. Only work. Only focus. Only execution. As darkness settled over the retreat, Adrian revealed why the Council of Titans had spent months studying Andrey's achievements. The fourth horizon faced a new challenge. Not a challenge of leadership. Not a challenge of cooperation. A challenge of performance. The world was beginning to question whether the fourth horizon could produce individuals capable of combining leadership excellence with elite athletic achievement. The movement needed examples, living proof, people capable of demonstrating that character and performance could coexist. Andrey Kachalinin represented exactly that possibility. A champion, a leader, a record holder, a symbol of consistency, a symbol of what happens when decades of effort accumulate into greatness. As Ethan left the meeting that night, he couldn't shake the feeling that Part 17 would become different from every chapter before it. The arrival of Andrey Kachalinin signaled something new. The fourth horizon was no longer being evaluated solely by its philosophy. It was now being judged by results. And somewhere beyond the mountains, powerful observers who had monitored the movement for years were preparing a challenge designed to test everything Adrian Wolfe, Raj Dangas, Usman Ahmad, and the next generation of Titans had built. The era of preparation was ending. The era of proof was beginning. Fire to be continued in Part 17 Chapter 2. Thumbs up, like the video if you enjoyed this chapter. Speech balloon comment. What do you think is the most important factor for building huge muscular arms? Strength, consistency, or discipline? Bell subscribe and turn on notifications for Part 17 Chapter 2. Loudspeaker share with bodybuilder fans, strength athletes, powerlifting enthusiasts, and everyone who enjoys epic transformation stories. Fire Part 17 Chapter 2. Andrey Kachalinin, 16 times world champion, 10 times European champion, the science of huge arms, Titanic strength and the fourth horizon trial. Fire Iron Titans Saga. Thumbs up before this chapter begins, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with fellow bodybuilder fans, strength athletes, powerlifting enthusiasts, fitness followers, and everyone who enjoys epic transformation stories. The legend of Andrey Kachalinin continues as the Fourth Horizon prepares for a challenge unlike any it has faced before. The age of leadership created Raj Dangas. The age of global unity elevated Usman Ahmad. Now the age of proof has arrived, and a living champion stands at the center of it. The announcement that Andrey Kachalinin would personally participate in the upcoming Fourth Horizon Summit spread throughout the International Transformation Network with extraordinary speed because athletes, coaches, bodybuilders, fitness models, sports scientists, and strength enthusiasts from multiple countries immediately recognized the significance of welcoming a competitor whose career represented one of the most remarkable examples of sustained excellence in modern strength sports. And as excitement continued growing across every level of the movement, Vale began noticing an important shift in conversations taking place among younger participants. Because while previous discussions often centered around motivation, inspiration, and leadership development, people were now increasingly focused on a different question entirely: what separates good athletes from legendary athletes? The answer fascinated Ethan because after years spent studying transformation, discipline, and human potential under Adrian Wolfe's guidance, he had discovered that greatness rarely emerged from dramatic moments. Instead, it developed through thousands of ordinary decisions repeated consistently across months, years, and sometimes decades, and no individual represented that principle more clearly than Andrey Kachalinin, whose achievements reflected not temporary brilliance but sustained mastery accumulated through relentless dedication. When Andrey finally arrived at the international training facility connected to the Fourth Horizon Network, his presence immediately commanded respect, not through arrogance or self-promotion but through the quiet confidence possessed by individuals who no longer needed to prove anything because their accomplishments already spoke for them. Years of elite-level training had produced a physique unlike anything many younger athletes had witnessed in person. His